Oh no.
So anyways, that's so we're getting a new car, I think, this week.
You're getting a Black Friday deal on a new car?
Well, my husband's looking for a deal, and
they're harder to find these days.
I know. He's been looking for one for about 6 weeks or so, because my car died on the same day as my surgery.
Oh wow!
The car died, and so we buried it, and I couldn't drive anyway for a while, so it's been okay. But now it's time for us to get a new one. So I think he's been waiting for Black Friday, thinking that something might go on sale.
Gotcha.
So we're waiting.
Y'all all doing well?
Doing well. How are you? How was your Halloween wedding?
It was great. It was very, very cool.
Trick or treat.
Beautiful on the bay. Yeah, she said, she texted me and said, feel free to dress up as Batman if you want. And the Saturday night before that, Saturday Night Live did a skit where the best man at the wedding it was a Halloween wedding, was dressed up as the Joker.
Oh
and
boy.
I thought that was so funny and timely. Very funny skit. But it was great. I will probably keep it brief today. I had a message from a couple of our regulars that couldn't make it, and I know everybody's got Thanksgiving week festivities. Mm-hmm. But I did something last night that I wanted to mention to you guys and reflect on it a little bit. In my study, library, sanctuary office here, I've had this same space for 25 years. I have created, for 25 years, I've done more in this space than anywhere else. This is where I work every day. This is where I write my books. This is where I do things like this, counseling, writing songs, practicing music, just everything. And for nearly all that time, or maybe all of that time, I've had an altar in here. I have every wall has books, but I'm there. But one wall has all of my theology books. One entire wall is just nothing but theology, some texts back from college, the ones I've collected over the years. They're all, and the altar was right in front of that bookcase on that wall. And the altar, the really cool, very longest old solid wood coffee table I found at Habitat for Humanity. And I turned it into an altar and had, all my stuff on it, my candles and incense and different objects and things like that. And anyway, I'm always trying to tweak my spaces, my office, my library, my music room, my media room, just always look, is there a better way, more functional? And in this house that I live in, which was built in 67, I think it is, so ranch style, long house, most of the rooms are a lot longer than they are wide. We have a sort of a galley kitchen because of that. So that creates its own little challenges. But anyway, I was looking for, how can I have more space in this room? And I decided after 25 years to remove that altar because it sticks out from the, there's the bookcase that comes out of the wall, a foot and a half. And then the altar went in front of it, and it's probably 2.5 feet. Takes up a lot of space. And I got to looking at the bookshelf behind it, and I was like, I can put everything that's on that altar can go on that bookcase. I can arrange it, move a few books, do things here and there, and all of those objects and all of those candles and everything can go. So I don't lose anything, but I do gain a lot of space. And I was thinking about, in the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu said, we carve or create pots out of clay, but it's the space left inside that we get to fill with what we need or what we want. And so I've been reflecting on how important space is. And I think too often we think the bowl is what we can touch, what we can hold. But just as important, probably more important, but definitely just as important, is the empty space inside. Without that empty space, it's not a bowl. And you can't put your soup in it. So I want to create more space. I want more space in my mind to receive, to be open, not to be so full of constant thoughts and worries and obsessions and whatever, that there's not peace and there's not an openness for new inspired ideas and thoughts to come. Same thing with my heart. I don't want my heart to be full of, or too full of, anything, but especially of unforgiveness, of jealousy, of anger, of anything that there's not space. And outside of me, I want space. And it's amazing. Now, I have not finished this process, but it's amazing how it's opened up this space. Just a few adjustments. This room has more space. Now, I have a lot, as you can see just from behind me, I have a lot in this space. I mean, it is very, very full, but it is also very open and spacious. Recently, I did the same thing with my music room. I got to looking around. I was like, there's so much. It's a smaller room. It's about half of the size of this one. And it was just too full. And when things get too full, there's a restriction that happens. There's a claustrophobia. There's a containment that doesn't allow for creation, that doesn't allow for movement, that doesn't allow for peace. I have a tendency to, when there's a space, to fill it. They say that nature abhors a vacuum. And I have a tendency to do that. If there's a vacuum, if there's a space, if there's a vacuum, I want to fill it. And then upon reflection, second thought, I'm like, you know what? This would be a lot better if it had less stuff in it. And I think our lives would be better with less stuff. I know our hearts and minds would be better with less thoughts, less worry, less all of those things. And I think we will find that the two are related. That if we have too much stuff, physical stuff, crowding in on us, it often will reflect in our minds, in our hearts. And so I want to encourage you and let you know that I am going to continue to look for how to have more space and not focus on the clay of the bowl, but of the emptiness inside, and try to continually go through this process of emptying out so that more can come in. And I think maybe as we approach the holidays, this is a good reminder of, with our space, our schedules can encroach on our time. And we can try to fit too much in our days, too much in our holidays, too much in that we don't leave space for, again, for movement, for creativity, for inspiration, for quiet, for silence, for the things we really need to nourish our souls. So that's what I wanted to share today. That's my encouragement to you. Any thoughts, any ideas, any comments?
I just read where viewing a body of water helps clear the mind. I don't know where it came from or whether it's true or not.
I agree with that. I live on a lake, and I've been in the same place for 25 years. But of course, anywhere in Florida, you're close to water.
Mhm.
But I've actually lived on this lake, and then our family farm, where we often spend all our holidays and a lot of our time, is on a lake, and that nourishes me and does so much good for me. And I fully agree with that. And I've talked to people. There are people that say they really want to. They'd rather live by a river than a lake because they like the flow. They want moving water. I know I have a lot of friends that really want to be on the Gulf. They want the waves. They want the but whatever it is, and I like it all, but I guess I am partial to a nice lake like the one I live on. Um I agree that it is very nourishing and mind clearing, and I like that.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Any other ideas or thoughts? Do you see room to make more room? Do you see things you can get rid of to make more space? Or maybe it's just a rearranging. Maybe it's not even I got to throw a lot of stuff out, but maybe it's just the way in which it's arranged. That also goes to this thing of trying new things and having things different. It's so good for our brains to do new things, do things differently. We talked about that just a couple of weeks ago. Even if we have to do some of the same things, if we'll do them differently, it helps our brains take a different route, use our less dominant hand to do something, whatever it is. But rearranging and moving things helps with that as well.
I think working repetitive work with your hands gets me away from my normal thoughts. You
Definitely.
dream up all kinds of stuff while you're just working with your hands.
Yeah, you can try to sit and think, be still and meditate and think. That's great. But I often find that doing something like taking a shower or driving, something that occupies some part of the mind and your body, allows for a better flow of thoughts and opens up and releases things. That's why so many of inspired ideas happen when we're mowing the grass, going for a walk. You know, it can't be, we can't be doing algebra. We can't be working on something that's requiring too much of us. But if it doesn't require too much of us, yet we have something going on physically and mentally. It creates that other part of our brain, that space for something to come in. Absolutely. I have to be careful that when I'm doing chores, when I'm doing the things we're talking about, that kind of mindless, we call it mindless activities. I have to be very careful not to always have these in, listening to a book, listen to a podcast, listen to music, because that fills up the space. Nothing wrong with it, and this is helpful, and it's also inspiring and nourishing, but it can't be constant. I have to make room. I have to leave room, make space. And if I'm always tethered, then there is no room. There is no space. Same thing with people who always have the television on. They always have radio, always have noise, always have activity that doesn't create the kind of space we're talking about that we all need. Any other final thoughts before we conclude?
Well, I guess I'll take up knitting, huh?
Be good. Keep that going so that this my dad, who's a farmer, spends a lot of time on the tractor mowing the fields, bush hogging.
Yep.
And he said for him, that is his church, that is his sanctuary, that is his meditation, that is his best chance of best thoughts, peace, most serenity. Y'all need those kind of things.
Yep.
Well, I hope y'all have a very great week and a happy Thanksgiving. Thankful for all of you guys, and we'll look forward to seeing y'all on Cyber Monday next week.
All right. Good.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you too, Charlene, and everybody else, Robbie and Michael, and everybody who's not with us today.
Y'all take care. See you next week.
Yeah.
Take care.
All righty. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.